With a gentle companion, find the wisdom to love yourself better. Today, we're diving into the Arbinger Institute's classic book, Leadership and Self-Deception: Getting Out of the Box. This book deeply analyzes the phenomenon of self-deception and provides concrete methods to help us break free from this box, improving interpersonal relationships and team collaboration. First, let's get acquainted with the protagonist, Tom Callum, and his experience at Zagroom Company. Tom had been working for one of Zagroom's competitors for over a decade, always keeping an eye on Zagroom's progress and growing tired of always being second best. During a job restructuring, he decided to apply for a senior management position at Zagroom and was eventually hired. Tom performed exceptionally well at Zagroom, always being the first to arrive and the last to leave, fully dedicated to his work without external distractions. However, his wife often complained that he neglected household responsibilities. But Tom was determined to outshine every possible competitor, working harder and being more excellent than his colleagues. Bud, Tom's new boss, had some criticisms for him. He pointed out that Tom's emotions were highly volatile and that he needed to address this issue. Tom tried to respond appropriately, but his mind was racing and he couldn't come up with anything to say. He finally asked Bud to clarify the problem. Bud specifically pointed out Tom's issues. He mentioned that Tom once should have filled up the gas tank but didn't, leaving the car empty, representing his neglect of important matters. Additionally, Tom had promised to take his kids to the park but used an excuse to back out, showing his disregard for commitments. Bud also mentioned that Tom pretended to be disabled to gain more trust, indicating deception and falseness. He noted that Tom would let colleagues handle potentially troublesome tasks that he could easily prevent, another form of deception and falseness. Faced with Bud's accusations, Tom expressed confusion and rebutted. He believed he hadn't neglected these matters or engaged in deception. He questioned Bud's suggestions, asserting that he didn't have issues with neglect or deception. The book provides a detailed definition of self-deception. Self-deception is a cognitive bias where individuals are unable to fully and objectively recognize and evaluate themselves. This cognitive bias can trap individuals in their own limited thinking, keeping them stuck in the box. Self-deception can lead to poor performance within an organization. For example, Bud's performance in San Francisco wasn't wholehearted. He didn't put in the effort or consider the bigger picture, causing trouble for others. Additionally, self-deception can lead to misunderstandings or misinterpretations of one's issues, failing to realize how they affect others. The book mentions Ignaz Semmelweis, a mid-19th century European obstetrician. At Vienna General Hospital, he studied maternal mortality rates and found that they were as high as 1 in 10. Traditional medical methods couldn't improve patients' conditions. Semmelweis discovered that maternal mortality rates varied based on delivery methods. He noticed the first ward had significantly higher mortality rates than the second. After controlling for variables like delivery location, indoor ventilation, and maternal diet, the mortality rates didn't change significantly. He eventually realized the cause might be doctors frequently handling corpses. Semmelweis proposed the puerperal fever theory, suggesting that puerperal fever was caused by doctors transferring infectious material from corpses or other patients to birthing mothers through unclean hands. He immediately ordered medical students to wash their hands with a chlorine solution before examining patients, and the maternal mortality rate dropped to 1%. Semmelweis believed doctors were actually the transmitters of disease, despite their efforts to save lives, unknowingly bringing illness to mothers. This phenomenon exists in organizations too, where everyone carries a bacteria that hinders leadership and efficiency, self-deception. Recognizing this is the first step to solving problems with extraordinary efficiency. The book states that true leadership is a spiritual power that can inspire those around us. Lou Herbert is a legendary example. He transformed a mediocre company into an industry giant through his spiritual influence, motivating those around him, even if his interpersonal skills were somewhat clumsy. He succeeded in his work and fully inspired everyone around him. Interpersonal skills play a significant role in leadership. When used by someone like Lou, they help reduce misunderstandings, ease awkwardness, and make interactions more sincere and effective. However, when used by someone like Sally, people might feel she's only trying to please or has ulterior motives. The effectiveness of interpersonal skills depends on a deeper realm. Lou's behavior at Zagrum made Bud realize that the effectiveness of interpersonal skills depends on deeper levels. Genuine interpersonal skills need to be based on treating others as equals, not as a means to an end. Self-deception is when we react to others based on our feelings towards them, and these feelings are determined by whether we are in the box. Self-deception leads people to ignore others' needs, prioritizing their own, thus disregarding others' feelings. It causes people to build their worldview on a flawed perception of others and themselves, trapping them in the box of self-deception. Lou often steps out of his limited thinking, seeing things clearly and treating others as real people. Zagrum's success stems from cultivating a culture of treating people as equals. When treated sincerely, people respond in kind. Most companies are trapped in the box of self-deception, unaware that treating people equally would make smart people smarter, skilled workers more proficient, and hard workers more diligent. Many organizations are plagued by self-deception without realizing it. Bud learned everyone's names from employees and was impressed. He believed remembering everyone's names was a way to ensure he treated others as equals. Bud pointed out that Tom might not see Joyce as an equal because he wasn't interested in her name. If you're not interested in someone's name, you probably don't see them as an equal. Bud asked Tom if he truly believed Joyce shouldn't have disregarded rules and barged into his office. Bud thought Tom might need to seriously tell her that such mistakes wouldn't be tolerated again. Tom faced leadership challenges for the first time in his career, feeling uneasy in the humid heat of Connecticut. He began doubting his leadership abilities, realizing how poorly he had been performing. In his interactions with subordinate Shirley, Tom tried to understand if she enjoyed working with him, but her response made him feel he might be too annoying at work. In his interaction with subordinate Joyce, Tom apologized for his behavior in the meeting room, and Joyce accepted and apologized as well. Tom began reflecting on his self-perception, realizing he might have interpersonal weaknesses, and started thinking about how he had belittled others and failed to treat them as equals. He felt he might have self-deception issues and began pondering whether concepts like the box, self-deception, and seeing people as objects applied to him. Kate was one of the first 20 employees at Zagrum, initially handling order processing. She worked at Zagrum for 25 years, rising from sales manager to president and CEO. Kate and Bud both met with Tom, considering it a crucial matter. Everything at Zagrum, including work tasks, reporting processes, and evaluation methods, was built on learned principles. The company's success came from periodically stepping out of the box and using systematic, practical methods to improve efficiency. Zagrum's success wasn't about perfection, but striving to be better. Kate believed that although we sometimes get stuck in the box, success comes from stepping out of its constraints. She saw the box as an intriguing concept, learning something new each time she finished. Given two ways of behaving, treating others as equals outside the box or as objects inside the box, she chose the former. Tom reiterated the concept of self-deception to Bud and Kate, explaining that at any moment, we're either inside or outside the box. He believed being inside or outside the box was the most crucial interpersonal issue in the company. Bud's example on the plane showed that external behavior can vary greatly depending on whether one is inside or outside the box. Tom tried to conceal his marital problems, but remembered the unpleasant incident while retelling the story. He described his attempts to care for Laura, but she rejected his concern, pushing him back into the box. Tom asked about the box, wondering what to do if someone kept pushing us into it. Self-betrayal is when you feel you should do something for someone, but act contrary to that feeling. Manifestations include feeling you should help your partner or kids, but doing nothing, knowing you need to apologize, but never doing it, or realizing you need to stay late to help, but going home without a word. Self-betrayal is common and deeply impacts behavior and attitudes. When we feel we should do something but don't, we're betraying ourselves. Self-betrayal shows us that we often rationalize our behavior, thinking our actions and decisions are justified. After self-betrayal, people start justifying their actions. Bud, after betraying himself by not getting up to help Nancy, began thinking of reasons why she was lazy, unthoughtful, or even a bad mother and wife. Self-betrayal involves feeling you should do something for someone, but acting contrary to that feeling. Before betraying himself, Bud felt he should get up to help Nancy, but didn't, imagining her worse than she was. After self-betrayal, people view reality through a distorted lens, thinking they're right and fair. Bud saw Nancy as lazy and unthoughtful, though she wasn't as he imagined. After self-betrayal, people enter a box of self-deception. Bud's self-perception and view of Nancy changed after his self-betrayal, justifying his inaction and feeling systematic changes. Self-betrayal distorts understanding others' needs and helping them, making everything seem twisted to justify one's actions. It leads to viewing others, oneself, and the world through a skewed perspective, rationalizing one's behavior. After self-betrayal, people find many excuses to feel justified. These excuses are the rationalizations we create when deceiving ourselves. Over time, self-soothing excuses become part of us. When self-betraying, you enter the box. The box becomes your trait, which you carry with you. If you feel boxed in without a clear desire to resist, you might already be in the box. Reflect on whether you're unconsciously rationalizing. Bud believed his box significantly affected others. The box made others enter their boxes, leading to complaints about his unfair accusations or increased resentment. Collusion is seeing each other through the box, deceiving ourselves. The result is mutual inappropriate behavior and self-justification. It leads to not only bad behavior towards others, but also gossiping to gain support, feeling more justified. Misaligned focus is when individuals or teams overly justify themselves, ignoring results or others' feelings. It affects work efficiency and team collaboration, causing conflict and hindering goals. In the box, individuals or teams prioritize self-justification, often at the organization's expense. Focusing on self-justification instead of results prevents attention to work outcomes. Self-betrayal is proactive resistance to helping others. In the box, we only see the box's lies. When we stop resisting things outside the box, we change. The moment we stop resisting others, we step out of the box. We can free ourselves from self-justifying thoughts and feelings. To get out of the box, cultivate an attitude of treating others as equals, stay sensitive to others' needs, and constantly reflect on your behavior to avoid self-deception traps. Through a phone call, Lou saw an opportunity to transform Zagram into a more efficient, humane organization. The potential impact on the workplace was huge, and the lessons learned already had a profound effect on employees. Zagram initially focused on basic concepts, later emphasizing applying these to specific professional practices. Teaching involved 3 stages: learning content, then systematically and practically applying it to set and achieve goals. The responsibility transfer system helps employees collaborate better, reducing self-deceptive behaviors. It encourages responsibility, problem-solving, and trust building. This system minimizes self-deception and maximizes company profits, reducing common interpersonal issues. The system requires focusing on results and others, cultivating a consistent, lasting tradition. It encourages employees to consider others, not just themselves. Getting out of the box reduces common workplace issues and improves collaboration efficiency. It fosters self-responsibility and self-management, boosting overall efficiency. Getting out of the box means breaking free from self-deception, focusing on results and others, and establishing consistent traditions. It requires considering others, not just oneself, and focusing on results, not self-justification. The book has a wide readership across diverse industries, offering fundamental insights into life, whether managing marriages, raising children, or achieving career success and happiness. Every conflict boils down to someone's fault. Resolving conflicts requires breaking personal limitations and reflecting on one's responsibilities. Many companies include this book in their recruitment process, asking candidates to read it beforehand. Numerous companies report improved team collaboration after sharing the book with employees. Managers often use it to help employees at risk of losing their jobs make significant changes. The book helps employees identify previously unnoticed issues and take corrective actions to save their careers. Initially discovered and researched by personal and leadership training experts, the book is now a staple in many training programs, recognized as an effective tool for personal growth. Lou Herbert's sudden appearance in the conference room surprised Tom Callum, who had seen Lou's photos and videos but didn't recognize him at first. Lou's presence felt familiar and reassuring, reminding Tom of his late father with his kind eyes and gentle demeanor. Lou's sharing inspired Tom, as he described the best night he had with Laura and Todd over the past 5 years. Lou's explanation raised more questions, but Tom continued trying to understand. Lou advised Tom to check with Bud if the reasoning still made sense, mentioning that they often arranged family-involved learning nights. If continued this year, Laura might enjoy it. Self-betrayal has many forms, but Lou mainly used one way to deceive himself, and everyone almost uses the same way. Self-betrayal is learned through experience, and nearly everyone deceives themselves similarly. The goal is to help employees avoid self-betrayal and stay out of the box. Self-betrayal leads us to blame others instead of recognizing our own faults, common inside the box. Blaming others doesn't help them. It only helps us. Outside the box, one can see responsibility relationships more clearly, unhindered by the box. Without the box, one's work judgment isn't biased or nitpicking. After getting out of the box, I know what it's like outside. Since then, outside the box, I neither need nor force others to be jerks, easily managing instead of worsening bad situations. Successful leadership relies on overcoming self-betrayal, enabling you to guide others out of self-betrayal and become a true leader. To be someone colleagues are willing to follow, trust, and work with, you must get out of the box for them and Zagram. Before Kate left Arizona, Lou decided to give her a symbolic ladder representing his expectations and care. He asked her to remove the ladder from her sales department, but her team decided to keep it as a visual performance motivator, which Lou opposed. After Kate left, Lou apologized, explaining his actions and acknowledging his mistake, hoping she would understand his true intentions. Lou shared his insights about the box and recent events. Though his explanation wasn't great, Kate understood his genuine message. Lou established a system at Zagram to help people recognize if they were in the box and focused on results. He hoped Kate would help him find the best solution to create a new system allowing them to focus on results and stay out of the box: a mindset, management style, reporting form, and work mode. Lou wanted Kate to help find the best solution to build such a system, believing they could achieve better performance by getting out of the box. These are the core contents of leadership and self-deception: getting out of the box. I hope you can apply this wisdom in your life. The concepts of self-deception and the box in the book are relevant not only for personal growth, but also for team building and leadership development. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.